All right, everybody. Welcome back to Prepper Post News, courtesy of Freedom Prepper. I am Perrin Lovett, your humble host. Thank you for joining us at Freedom Prepper, the FP community. That's freedompreppercommunity.com, our YouTube channel, and everywhere the podcast is listened to, from Anchor to Spotify to, I think, the Apple Tune place. Anyway, it is Thursday, December 31st, 2020. This is the final day of the year that just won't end. So at midnight, we don't have to worry about it anymore. And today, I've got a much shorter news segment than normal. And I suppose our feature topic is going to come last. And that is my top 10 prepper stories of 2020. And this is something that I recorded a week or two ago. So I'll be in a different outfit. And there are many things that I would probably do different, say differently. I might drop some of those stories, but it is what it is. I stand by it. I think you'll enjoy it. Treat that as the feature or anything else that you want to go with today. So let me just get down. I've got a couple of brief news stories, and let me see. I've got a tweet that somebody sent the other day. You know, tweets are funny, and there's certain people that are always tweeting. There's one guy in particular who's just always tweeting. I don't know who he is, but he says, I don't know what this is about. I don't know what it references, but he said, breaking news. In Pennsylvania, there were 205,000 more votes than there were voters. I did not know. This alone flips something, and then there's some sort of odd warning from Jack Dorsey. Crazy things are happening, but probably because it's the end of the year. Everybody's got the bubbly out. Everybody's looking forward to watching the vaccine drop tonight up in a deserted Times Square, where I'm sure the National Guard will be out to prevent people from from enjoying themselves. I don't know. But let's talk about that vaccine and the proof thereof. This is a pro-vaccination statement, by the way, in full compliance with all guidelines. Axios had a little story, and this is one that I had sat on for the past couple days while we talked about other things. There's confusion over what is proof of this vaccination and whether or not you're going to need it, the proof that is. Apparently, when you get the shot, they give you a little, a piece of paper like any doctor would for anything. Some people are saying that's not enough. It needs to be a digital record because we're in the whatever century this is with digital stuff. Now, just think about the possibilities. Read this story or scan through it. And they're also already talking about ways that you might want to circumvent this. I'm going to leave that one alone. But I've got another story out of Europe about people who might refuse to be vaccinated for whatever reason. If you do, in Spain, it's possible that you might go in a registry. Now, allegedly, this is going to be a private thing. You won't even know about it. They were not going to sell your data to anybody. You'll just be a registered, conscientious objector from the Pfizer or Moderna drug. However, they might just happen to spread that around to other EU countries and probably countries outside the EU for various reasons. Now, what reasons would that be? Well, I don't know. Maybe you try to drive through Andorra to France, and you get stopped somewhere where there's normally not a border checkpoint, but now there is, and they scan your card digitally, and they don't see your little digital whatever. So they stop you and they say, look, you either can't come in, or you've got to go get the shot and come back with the digital stamp, or you've got to quarantine for 40 days and 40 nights, whatever. Just things to think about. Little consequences. Might also impact your ability to, take out a loan, get a job, keep a job. Who knows? I don't. I'm just going through these stories. This is not pushing holistic medicine. I'm just talking about the wonders and benefits of vitamins, particularly vitamin D. There's a story somebody did. The Boston Herald covered this, so we know it's a real story. In the real news, take a look at it. Apparently, if you take a sufficient dose of vitamin D, good things keep happening to you. So D is in Delta, D is in done, as in 2020 is about to be done. Take a look at that. I just had to throw this one in here because of the graphic, which, oh my God, I substituted the different graphic. Ann Barnhart, lover, has she's got a story I linked to with the wrong graphic. Thinks she's been on this religious angle about this whole issue this year. Is it a religious phenomenon? Maybe the wearing of a certain garment. Possibly, and if so, it's probably not your religion. Take a look at that. It's funny, and oh, I put the wrong graphic. It's also funny, but we won't get into that. We've got some things that may not end well, moving out of medicine into psychiatry. I read a story one time from the CIA about how easily most people can be hypnotized or opened up to suggestion. Something like 2/3 of all humanity has a genetic predisposition to subliminal messaging and mind control. And there's a lot of hard science behind the use of popular electronic media, especially television and moving pictures, not like this one. That just, it acts like a drug, and they can see this on brain scans. You watch, and the thinking parts of your brain just shut down, and you kind of go into passive reception mode. And so if they put up an idea, it kind of becomes your idea, like you had thought of it, but you don't think about it. That is what it is. I caution against watching a lot of the media, and I've got some great ideas maybe for next year about kind of walking through the reasons why you want to avoid some of this stuff. Most of you know a lot of this anyway. But now this Wall Street Journal story caught my eye. Everybody's putting the little spy bots in their house. All these little smart AI transceivered gadgets that talk to you and watch you and listen to you and report back to somebody, like Alexa. Somebody in the medical profession thinks it's a good idea to use Alexa in this age of corona lockdown as a go-between for hypnosis. If you want to quit smoking, they might hypnotize you. Normally you would go to a doctor for that, but what if the doctor could do it through Alexa? I see no reason for alarm whatsoever. Go ahead and be hypnotized by the robot. You can see that I'm shaking my head on that one. Moving right along. I'm tired of the Nashville story. I think they've already dropped it. You know where I stand, and I know where a lot of you guys stand. Some of the got some emails about this. We all seem to be on the same page, but somebody, Paul Craig Roberts, a great man, took a look. I call this the tale of two truck bombs. He took a look at Oklahoma City versus Nashville. Similar size vehicles. I think it was a radically different kind of bomb. OKC was obviously much more powerful, but he mentions a report put together by a general who knows munitions that was disseminated to Congress and then immediately buried. This after the bombing in 1995. It's one of those things that just it's another one of the stories. And I had until recently I had forgotten about. Remember the Arabic looking man, John Doe number 2? Gone. No, I don't know if anybody transferred a house to him, but just take a look at that. See if you remember. See if any of it makes any sense to you. I'm again shaking my head. Here's a funny one. CounterPunch had a little op-ed, and I read through the whole thing. I didn't look at the author, and I can't even remember who he is, but he's not a typical counterpuncher. He's a legitimate libertarian, and he has this great idea about giving Donald Trump, the outgoing president, the O.J. Simpson treatment. Of course, for his alleged crime, O.J. was tried and acquitted, but then two families sued him for negligent homicide or a wrongful death and recovered $35 million and have spent the past quarter century hounding him. Mr. Libertarian at CounterPunch says we can do the same thing for Donald Trump for his crimes. This completely overlooks the way the executive branch of the government works, overlooks things like sovereign immunity, the fact that, there aren't any identifiable crimes. But hey, it's a great theory, for those people who really, no matter what they're talking about, like to smoke the dope. We're already moving along. You know what? Final word of the day is review. I've got these stories. We touch on everything from there was some kind of disease or something this year, little thing. I don't virus maybe. You may remember it. We've got some overseas adventurism gone wrong. There was a big drug overdose somewhere. Big tech has been helping us every chance they can. Thank you, big tech. You're gonna love these. Again, if I did it today, I'd probably say some things a little differently. 10 stories, and I didn't use any notes. I just went off the top of my head from memory, so some of it, typical Perrin fashion, is a little discombobulated. I don't ask that you agree with me on anything. Just take a look, see what you think, leave some comments. One more thing this week, this New Year's Eve, in this year, in these times, if you're in an area where everybody loves to set off fireworks on nights like tonight, be a little extra aware, because as many people will tell you, when explosions are going off already all around you, that's a great time, and it makes for some really great cover. So, just keep your eyes and ears open tonight. But without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to a more Christmassy Perrin with 10 stories that you will certainly remember. I'll see you back tomorrow. Wow, in a whole new year. Have a great one. Happy New Year, one day early.